Hey there, welcome back to the Radiant Sun. It is a little crappy out today, so I am wearing my crappy day shirt. I think it's pretty suiting for the rain. But I just want to kind of go over a little more in detail where I was in my 9-to-5 job and how I ended up here and all the challenges that I faced along the way. There was definitely quite a handful. So I was in an office. I was working in a cubicle. I was actually working like 9 to 6, and I was working Saturdays too. So it was 6 days out of the week, plus being a single mom, having 2 kids, and making dinner while still working. It was at home too, so it was a hybrid type thing. But there was a lot of factors being played, and I wasn't even able to get my daughter from school every day. My mom had to do it after she got out of work, so by the time my daughter was getting home, thankfully they stayed open late at their daycare, but she would get home, have dinner, go to bed, and that was our everyday. And I was starting to see how it was affecting my kids and my relationship with them. My daughter at the time was 3 or 4, and my son is about a year and a half younger than her, so it was definitely having a huge impact on them emotionally and our connection together. So after seeing that, I just knew that I needed to change things up, but I didn't know how. I felt really trapped. It was a great pay. All my coworkers were amazing. All the customers were amazing. And it was somewhere where I imagined myself to be long term. So I really didn't even want to leave. And after quite some time, we got into winter. It was winter was our busy time. So I would put in extra hours, and I started noticing that it was starting to affect myself as well as my kids. So just lack of sleep and all the stress, and it was really starting to get noticeable. Like, I'd work from home and I wouldn't even get dressed anymore. I would just stay in my pajamas all day, and I just wasn't really smiling anymore. I just wasn't myself. I was tired all the time, and it got to the point where I just couldn't emotionally stand it. I couldn't sit there every single day and watch myself be like that. I knew it wasn't me, and it's really hard to step away from something that seems so good in the moment when you're able to pay all the bills. You have that stability and you don't really have to worry about anything in that aspect. But I was missing trick-or-treating on Halloween. I was missing everything. I was stressing out about if I was going to be able to do certain things for the kids' birthdays or even my birthday. And enough was enough, and I left, put in my 2 weeks, and I actually went back to an old job that I had in high school. So I'm 25, and this all just happened last year. So I went back to a job that I started in high school, and I left in high school when I was in high school, and then I had gone back, and then I left again for a really good office job and just kind of bounced around between office jobs after that. And so this was my 3rd time going back, and it felt insane. It was a $5 pay cut, and I went down to part-time because it was a night shift. I was trying to juggle everything, taking care of the kids during the day, making sure I had time for them, and then working at night, and then going home. So I was still putting all the focus on them and really not taking care of myself. And everyone kind of called me crazy, and I kind of felt crazy. I was basically cutting my weekly income in half and just trying to make it work. And this was in January of this year that I started back there. And it was right before I put in my 2 weeks, I had a realization that, this can be my New Year's resolution, just trying to make a better life for myself, because my mind just started to open up and really see all the possibilities in life. Who says that I have to be stuck here doing the same thing for the rest of my life? This obviously isn't working out. And I'm you know what? new year, new me, new opportunities. I felt emotionally like I was at rock bottom. Like, you know what? It really can't get any worse. I've been through worse, and I made it out just fine. I know what I'm capable of. I know I'm strong, and I know I can do it. So I took that leap of faith. I went back to that old job, cut my income in half, and I just did my best, and I tried looking towards the more spiritual side of things because I know that's what I was drawn to, but I never made the time for myself to actually dive into it. So that's when I actually found out about Tony Robbins, and I was going through a lot of his programs, and excuse me. So I was doing more listening than I was doing action, which, as we all know, no action means no improvement. So I was still kind of driving myself into the ground, working at night, not sleeping, going home, taking care of the kids, getting up, like working until midnight, getting up with the kids at 7, and it was crazy. So I decided that I needed to find a different job that had more flexibility, so I would have the time to still work on this part of my life, but have less stress and more sleep. And I found a job, and it seemed like it was gonna work out really well. I put in my 2 weeks at the job I went back to 3 times, and then I was getting ready to transfer over into this new one, and then at the last minute, everything fell through. I had already left that job. I was supposed to be starting this new job in like 2 days, and it all fell through. I had nothing. And I was like, okay, I have a little bit saved up. I'm good for a little bit. I'll just keep applying to places like crazy. And that's what I was doing. And I kept getting like all these job offers, but it was still the Monday through Friday. Like, there was a school, it was like 7 to 2:30, or there was, 8 to 3. It was still like trapping me into that cycle of getting up, going to work, getting home, doing dinner, going to bed, and it's just the same constant cycle, and I would have never had time for myself. So even though I knew it would have been reliable and stable, I still didn't do it. Because I just couldn't do that to myself. And instead, I took a whole month off, which was even crazier to me. But I did that because I found this course for life coaching. And my cat is interrupting. One moment. He can't miss out on anything. This is Bagheera. Hi. So I did. Sorry, but here you go. So I did the course, and then while I was doing that, my friend actually offered me a job to work for them. He's pushing my camera. So I now have a job lined up that I will have flexibility with, and I still took a little bit of time off of that just so I can really focus on getting this started and up off the ground. But they know what I am working towards and the amount of passion I have for this work, and really, work isn't even the right word for it. I just feel like I'm finally where I'm supposed to be in life. I'm finally doing what I was meant to do. I am using all of the knowledge and wisdom that I've gained over the years through all of the challenges that I faced, and now I get the chance to share it with you and help you in whatever part of your journey that you're on. And that is, there's no words for that feeling. Like, I am a wicked empath. I feel things very, very strongly, and it really gets me kind of emotional. So I'm just really, really blessed that I get to do this now, and that I have a great community surrounding me that is encouraging me on this journey, and I have so many resources, so many people to turn to. And to think just 6 months ago, I felt like I didn't really have anyone, because nobody was really understanding what the hell I was doing. They were all thinking I was crazy for not getting a stable job and getting that 9 to 5 and having something reliable. But I just knew deep inside me that I am here to do something more, because I know that I needed help. I needed a lot of help. And I know that I'm not the only one facing these struggles. So if I can help anyone, I'm going to. So now that I've kind of gone in a little bit more on what I've been through, if any of it resonated with you, maybe you're going through something very similar, I'm here for you, and I will do what I can to help you get to that higher frequency that you're meant to be at. It's calling for you, it's ready for you, and you can do it. Don't listen to your head. Don't listen to that ego. It was yelling at me for the longest time, saying, oh, don't leave that 9 to 5. That's your stability. What are you gonna do? You're gonna crash and burn. Ah! It's bullshit. Listen to your heart. You know what's meant for you in this life. You can do this, and I have full faith in you, even if you don't reach out to me. You can do this. Much love.